Maisha ni ya ghetto, msaliti ni pepo, sheria muna kwao, wazimu gena hao, furaha sio mfano, ukabila ndio kwao, hapo nishafika, ukweli na hakika, kadiri ninashika, furaha kwa lahiki, kwenda kwa mashabiki, raji kuziki, beef na fiki, beat na dhiki, muda muna wiki, mimi na himziki, split ni mukiki, kutafuta ziki, kwa makini mfulisi, salujima.
Here I am. Woo, man, okay. This is how I want to start this talk. Just being a little casual. How do I want to present this very short topic? One night, I had a very long conversation with my stepdaughter, and I must have spent at least 4 or 5 hours talking to my stepdaughter, because I think when I looked at the clock, it was like a little after 5, and it was close to 10 o'clock that night. That's how long. This is how long I talked to this child. I talked to this child for about 4 or 5 hours straight. What was you talking to the child about? I was talking to the child about life. If you do certain things in life, there must be a consequence. If you take the wrong action, sometimes in life, you will get a second chance. A lot of times, when you decide you want to do your own thing, you don't want to heed the warning of those who are older than you are, have more experience than you are, understand the dangers of something. You don't want to listen to that. Then a lot of times, if you don't heed these warnings, there is no second chance. You pay for your mistake with your life. And the reason why we was having this conversation is because she was just getting on her feet, just got a wonderful, decent paying job, beautiful car, nice apartment. I mean, everything that a young person would want, my stepdaughter had it. Just coming from sleeping on the floor, minimum wage job, riding the bus, and you know the things that we go through in life when we are a young person just getting started. So I was telling her, now listen, and I'm trying to get this in your head and giving her different examples, especially about this car. This car is the key to everything. You need this key so that you can go to college. You need this car so that you can go to work, so that you can go to the grocery store. This key, I mean, not this key, this car is a very important part of your life. If something happens to this car, then you're going to be in serious, serious trouble, because if you do something to this car, wreck this car, do something to this car, then you could lose your apartment, lose your job, you can't go to college, all that is over with. You don't have time. You're just now getting on your feet. You're not in a position to lose this car. You can't use this car to run around partying and you just cannot do it until you get some money in the bank, till you actually get on your feet. So if you have an emergency, you can easily survive it because you have money in the bank and you got something going on for yourself. But right now, you cannot do that. But again, like I told you, I spoke to this child, and she's a child to me. She's over 20 years old, but she's a child as far as I'm concerned. But it didn't mean nothing. And see, that's the way it is with the so-called Negro in America. The descendants of slaves born in America having dark skin. That's the same way it is with y'all. I can come on YouTube. There are many other brothers and sisters like myself. Because we're not saying something that you want to hear. And see, I was saying something she don't want to hear because in her mind, I work hard. I'm going to party. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm paying for the car. I might as well use it. So, what was the end result? The end result was she took the car to a place where she should not have been, and she ended up in a very bad traffic accident where she almost killed herself. And just like I told her, she lost the car, she lost her house, her apartment, she lost, she didn't have the ability to go to school, the job. She lost everything. And she almost lost her life because she wanted to do what she wanted to do. Because that would make you feel good. Well, black man and woman of America, there's a price that you pay for feeling good. Some of y'all have 5 or 6 children because you wanted to feel good. But then when it comes to taking care of those children, that don't feel so good. When you have to work your butt off to pay for shoes and college and shirts and pants and dresses and insurance and whatever for these children, that don't feel good. There's a consequence. For every action, there's a reaction. There's a consequence for everything that we do. So basically what I'm saying to us, you can talk and you can warn somebody till you blue in the face. I wouldn't mind being blue in the face. I'd be more darker skin. That's cool with me. That's a jokey joke. It ain't very funny. Okay, it ain't funny. All right. But all I can see for the future of so-called black people, I don't see a good future for you. Because you want to do what you want to do. Well, you have been doing what you want to do, or what you think that you should do. You've been doing that for going on 500 years. And look where you are. So my stepdaughter did what she wanted to do. And what makes it so bad? And this is another thing. I told her and made very clear, because of my own financial situation, I cannot help you. This is the number one reason why I'm telling you this. If you mess up, I can't help you. So you have to watch yourself. Didn't make no difference. In this ear, out the other. Didn't make no difference. So now you laying up in the hospital, all broken up. Help me, help me. I told you. I can't help you. Then you lied to me. And see, that's how y'all do. We're going to do better. Then you lie to yourself. You actually believe that You don't have to change. You can stay being a Negro. You can still be a nigger. You can still be the way that you are right now. And for some reason, you're going to be magically given a place in heaven when you are a hellraiser. You are a hellraiser. The only place for you is in hell. The actions of my stepdaughter took her to hell. Had she stayed on the path, had she heeded the warning from an angel, then who knows what wonderful position she would be. And then when you are blessed, as they say in religious teaching, then you can bless others. But now you can't hardly help yourself. Now you back to square one. But now you don't even have the help that you could have had. You don't have the friends that you should have had. All these things, you just messed everything up. But that's expected. I do not see a beautiful future for black people in America because you don't want to accept reality. You want to do your own thing. You want to hold on to these beliefs and these teachings that's so great, that's getting you nowhere. That's a proven fact. That's a proven fact. It's not getting you nowhere. And when you don't heed warnings, when you don't do the right thing, you are running out of chances. And the sad thing about it is, I don't even believe she learned her lesson. Still a hardhead. And that's the way Negroes are in America. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. But sooner or later, you're going to meet the Grim Reaper. And before then, I see in the future for blacks great suffering. Because you have an opportunity and you have some of the greatest teachers and warners and you don't want to listen. You all in la la land, just like my stepdaughter, living in some kind of fantasy world. And your fantasy world, when it collides with reality, the interaction can be disastrous. As she found out, and as we as a people are going to find out. I would not be shocked that one day that you will walk the streets and there will be so many dead that you cannot even bury them. They'll be all over the street. Remind you of Katrina. So many bodies you couldn't even get them and bury them. People walking over rotten corpse. Because you won't accept the reality of it. You won't do what is necessary in the appropriate time. You won't do the appropriate thing at this appropriate time. You're doing the wrong thing. So we try to help and you try to warn people, but sometimes no matter how much you warn people, no matter how much you help people, they are just not going to do any better. So I have accepted that. But it costs me nothing to continue to try to warn. And you deserve somebody trying to show you better. You deserve that. Are you going to do better? That's another question. Because clearly, it does not seem like you're interested. You, just like my stepdaughter, have to learn the hard way. I want to spend a few minutes with us just talking, just bringing conversation. And the topic that I've chosen for these brief few minutes is a question or a comment. A comment question. A little bit of both, I guess. And that is, why do the people of soul, y'all still call us black because you living in racism, why do black folks expect their leadership to be perfect? Caucasian people, nobody else expect their leaders to be perfect. And the reason why this is brought up is because of the recent exposing of character flaws and behaviors by so many in the this black conscious community. The horrid, infantile, childish, thuggish, negroid, nigger behavior by persons like Sinetta TV, Black News 102, Sarah Sutton Seti, which he's always been vulgar and profane. That's how he rolls, and he's happy about that. So, and what is more disappointing is this recent rant by the intellectual, the doctor, Umar Johnson, against Sarah Sutton Seti. In fact, that's what, well, actually, that's not what started it all, because it was last year. It started with Polite and Sinetta going back and forth, and really it was Polite was trying to maintain some type of professionalism, while Sinetta was just being a real excuse me, a real excuse me, my throat is so parched. Let me see what I can do here. Again, Polite was trying to maintain a certain amount of professionalism, while Sinetta was just profane and vulgar and nasty. Then before that can cool off too good, then here comes Umar Johnson, because he did not like that Sarah Sutton Seti did not respect his opinion or his advice or suggestion that we need to bring in elders in order to resolve these different conflicts. And in doing so, Umar Johnson created a conflict. And you want to know something? Where are these elders he talking about? Where are these older people? You have not heard nothing from none of them that he's talking about. They are supposed to come together to help resolve conflict and beef. Why didn't you seek counsel before you attacked Sarah Sutton Seti or brought this out into the public? Why didn't you seek counsel with your elders? That is my question. I'm just curious. If the elders have this wisdom, if these elders have this wisdom that you believe they have, and you look to them for conflict resolution, then why, even before you made this nasty, disrespectful, vulgar, profane video against Sarah Sutton Seti, why didn't you seek counsel with your elders? See, and all of this raises the question, why do black folks expect their leaders to be perfect? And the reason why this question is brought to the forefront is because no matter how Sarah Sutanseti acts, no matter what Sarah Sutanseti does, no matter what Umar Johnson says, no matter what he does, or Sonetta TV, or any of these people of whom y'all become loyal to and love, no matter what Minister Louis, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says and does, all these people of whom y'all treat like they some type of God, some type of special divine whatever, they can do no wrong. And when they show their ass, you want to make an excuse. Well, everybody's not perfect. That's your excuse. And what I'm here to say to us is that after 400 years, not 10 years, not 30 years, not 100, after over 300 years, going on 500 years of hell in this nation, don't you think that these who are the descendants of slaves born in America, don't you think that we deserve strong, firm leadership that has some type of morality? We need strong examples for ourselves and our babies and for our people so they can stand fast and stand firm. But you want to give us these weaklings who don't have to have no responsibility for what they say or what they do because you like them. You can go to a job and you can be a very good employee and the boss can like you. But if you say and do the wrong thing, you can get fired. Umar Johnson, Sarah Sutanseti, Sonetta TV, all these people, polite, all of them needs to be fired. They don't represent you. Is this the type of representation that you want in the world? A bunch of thug, wannabe, conscious, silly Negroes who can't control themselves? So I can be a black leader. And my intent might be good, but I'm a drug addict. Everybody know I'm a drug addict. Well, everybody not perfect. So I'm on the video. Black, whoo, man, that is some good stuff. Black power, my family. Whoo, that's some good ganja. Well, I'm going to be bringing this, excuse me. Whoo. Now, we're going to be bringing this lecture to Sacramento, California. And I hope that y'all got some good weed there and a little bit of that blow. Because we're going to fire it up. Who that remind you of? This is your leadership. You stand on this. Or I could be drunk. Hey. And you know, shut up. I'm black conscious. And the Metanetta gonna do this. And the Egypt Kemkebit gonna do that. What? Hey. Will you be quiet? Be quiet. That is some good Mad Dog 20, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. These are your leaders. These are the heads of your future nation. This is your leadership. And this is what you want to represent. Now, let me make something very clear. Of course, nobody can be perfect. But we're not even trying. We're not even trying. You deserve somebody that's willing. Oh, wow. Malcolm X was a perfect example. Did you see Malcolm ever running around acting this kind of way? No, you didn't. You never did see, and Malcolm came from the world of profanity. Malcolm came from the world of vulgarities. And when he got into it with the Nation of Islam, you did not, he always maintained some type of composure, some type of discipline, because he knew that he was representing more than himself, but he wanted to represent this struggle. You don't care. I like Umar Johnson. I like Sarnetta TV, a bunch of cussing, thug wannabes, nasty. And you know something, this makes you don't even want to hear anything else they want to say, except those who are vulgar. See, you are nasty. You are vulgar. You are niggas. You're infantile. You're childish. So they can represent you, but they will never represent me. They will never represent me and mine, and the people of soul overall, they will never embrace these fools. Because you deserve the best. You deserve leadership that is moral. You deserve leadership that is not a con man and a scam artist and a thug Negro and all this stuff that these folks are representing. You and I deserve more than that. You want to make excuses for nasty, rude, disrespectful, vulgar, profane behavior. So if that's what you want, and you wonder why you still a slave, you wonder why the blind cannot lead the blind. Clearly these persons have not evolved. They have not matured. They cannot guide you anywhere. It's very clear. But you like them. It's all right to like a drunk. It's all right to like a dope addict and a guy who go to strip clubs. Black conscious, he's in the strip club watching the G-string in the woman's backside. Black Power family, I'm the Prince of Pan-Africanisms. You can like them, but they're not going to be able to lead you anywhere. You can tell by the mentality they cannot lead you anywhere. They have not evolved themselves. So if they have not evolved and matured themselves, what can they do for you? Nothing. It's all in an illusion. It's a facade. And you support them because you really are afraid of liberation. You really are afraid of the day when you actually get cut off from Caucasian people. Well, that day is going to come whether you go on your own or they will force you away from them. I was watching a video, and I believe it was here on YouTube. It was about Idi Amin, one of the African revolutionaries, Idi Amin, and he was in a classroom. And Idi Amin was speaking with some children. I don't know if they were college age or high school age, but he was talking to these children. And he was speaking about being a revolutionary. Now, Idi Amin is not Sarnetta TV. Idi Amin is not Dr. Umar Johnson. Idi Amin is not Malcolm X or Elijah Muhammad or Marcus Garvey. Idi Amin was involved in a real revolutionary movement, participated in a coup that placed him in a position where he became leader of the same of the nation where he was oppressed by these alien foreign persons. And he was speaking to these children. And he wanted to make this point to these children about being a revolutionary. He told them, look, I'm paraphrasing, I'm not saying it verbatim what he actually said, but he was saying, basically, you cannot be drunk. Listen, you cannot be drunk. You cannot be high. You cannot be a drunk. You cannot be a dope fiend and call yourself a revolutionary. Because, as we all know, drinking and drugging hinders your ability and it impairs the mind to the task at hand. And the task at hand is that you need everything, all your thinking processing, working the best that you can so that you can rebel, revolt against that which oppress you. After you defeat your oppressor, after you kill your oppressor, after you take your oppressor out of power, then you can take the time to celebrate. And if you want to get a little drunk, if you want to get high, you celebrating, who cares? But until that time comes, you hinder the ability to think properly. And he told them, I'm not just telling you just for the sake of telling you. I'm telling you from experience. So, through experience, Idi Amin found that smoking a little weed, getting drunk, whatever, it was detrimental to what they wanted to do. So, it had to be a requirement that all revolutionaries did not partake in getting drunk and getting high. This goes back to the conflict between the Native American people who were called Indians and the Caucasian Europeans who were the aliens and the foreigners. One way they kept some of the Native American people in check was to give them fire water. You can't, how are you going to fight your enemy? How can you pull a bow? How can you shoot a gun? What can the Native American do while he's drunk? You did not see the Europeans giving their soldiers fire water. Because this defeats the purpose. Your soldiers have to be in the best state of mind that they can be in order to be successful at the task given to them. So along with fire water, and along with telling them lies and believing a liar and a deceiver over and over again, and then the diseases, it almost caused the Native American people in this nation to become extinct. And of course, they realized too late that unity, they realized too late that unification probably would have helped them win the war against this vicious invader. But it's just like we are today. If I go to jail, you don't care. If so-and-so go to jail, they don't care. You know, if so-and-so gets shot in the back 8 times, we really don't care because we're not a united people. If something happens to me unjust, if something happens to you unjust, I should be mad as hell. I should be ready to go to war if necessary. And the time is going to come where you're going to feel like that, but just like the Native American people and others, you're going to respond when it's too late because, oh, that's just happening to the black Muslims. You don't know that you next. Oh, that's just happening to the black Hebrew Israelites. That's just happening to the Christian people. That's just happening. And by the time you realize it's going to happen to all of you because you have something in common. What is it that you have in common? Because you have this dark skin. And your enemies don't care whether you are agnostic, atheist, Hebrew, Muslim, Kemetic, or whatever we are. They dig the grave and all of us fit into that grave. They don't care nothing about all that. So we come to this time. And we have a leader, a leader wannabe, like Sarah Sutton said it. Supposed to be a general, a revolutionary. But he tells the people, the first thing is, I used drug money to go to Kemet. You want to go to Kemet so bad, and you don't have no other means, I'm going to sell drugs. Selling drugs is bad, but if it can get me to Kemet, it's all right. If it put food on my table, it's all right. We need to justify selling drugs and other criminal activity. Because if you're selling drugs, then clearly you must also at the same time, you have to be justifying other criminal behaviors. Then he says in a meeting in Mississippi, I believe, I know y'all do blow. I know y'all do drugs. I do a little myself. Blow is not, I don't know a lot about drugs, but I know blow is not weed. Blow is cocaine, to my knowledge. I could be wrong, but I know it's not, I have not heard blow as a slang term for weed. And even if it is so what if it's weed? It's still doing drugs. And I would tell you this. Examine many of Sarah Sutton Seti's videos have been taken down off of social media. But if you look at the Seti from 2009 and you compare the Seti that you have now, 2017, look at the droopy eyes. He still talks with that fire, but he drags his thought, his thinking pattern is not as sharp as it used to be. Because he's doing drugs, and he says that you can do the drugs as long as you stay physically fit. You can do all the drugs you want as long as you exercise. Now, Sarah Sutton Seti is a revolutionary wannabe. Sarah Sutton Seti is just a revolutionary in name. And he's telling us, and he's giving us the advice that it's all right to do drugs. In fact, he does drugs. And we can clearly see, if you're looking at this man, and people who have done drugs and know the drug life, they look at him and can tell that this man is, if he is not right now, he's becoming a drug addict. And that's a shame, because this brother has a lot of fire, he has a lot of potential, and he's going to end up like Huey Newton. Look how brilliant Huey Newton was. Look how brave and powerful Huey Newton was. And his creation of the Black Panther Party. But then look how he died. He died as a drug addict. What happened to you, Huey? Idi Amin was a real revolutionary. And he's telling the children, do not use drugs. Do not get drunk. So who will you listen to? Who should you follow? Sarah Seti or Idi Amin? Who's going? In fact, Idi Amin was successful in his revolutionary activity. The only thing you get from Sarah Seti is not a plan of action, nothing of a revolutionary, in a revolutionary sense. All you get is a bunch of comedic scholarship. And then he's a general, but he tells you, he does not give orders. He's telling you that you should already know what to do. Generals give orders. Generals sit back and design plans of action. General understands the enemy. The general understands war. The reason why Sarah Seti cannot do this, first of all, he's high on dope most of the time. But he does not really understand the concept of revolution, not only on a psychological basis, but not even on a physical basis. If you had to actually go to war with weapons, he has no idea. He has no idea of what you need to do, what you should be looking for. But then, what can you expect from a dope addict? A dope addict has a lot of potential. He talks a good game, but is still a dope addict. A cussing, profane, vile dope addict. And I'm profane because I want to be down with the hood. Actually, you're doing the people in the hood a disservice because you're really demeaning them like they don't understand proper English. You have to always, and a mother this and a bitch this and such and such. You act like they really stupid. I would not demean you like that. I don't see you like that. You should be the example of a higher potential. You should be the example of the leader that you claim that you want to be. It is such an honor. I really love talking to us. Sometimes, I'm going to be quite honest, sometimes I feel like I'm talking to a wall. But that's all right. Because sometimes you never know who might be behind the wall, around the wall. And although you're talking to a wall, when you come out here and you feel as though perhaps nobody is listening to you, this is the internet. This is advanced social interaction where you can put out a video and it can be seen all over the planet. So for those of us who have strong and powerful messages, original messages, I'm not talking about my opinion about what happened on the news or plagiarized quotes from the Bible and the Quran and what Malcolm said and what Elijah Muhammad said and Frederick Douglass and all this stuff. You have living people with original ideas, new creativity. This shows that we are alive. But see, when you're dealing with a mentality that is dead, the dead cannot comprehend life. So there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. It is something wrong with those around us because we're actually walking among the living dead, the zombies. But if you keep the faith, as they say in religion, keep walking, keep talking, you and I don't know what zombie we might awaken that could change, that could begin a process that changed the whole reality of how we live right now. And it needs to be changed. The religious text tells us that it needs to be changed. It talks about a great war in the Revelation, this war of Armageddon. This war of Armageddon is to demonstrate change, not to stay the way that it is now. The religious text continues to talk about that your God is to bring in a new world, a new heaven, and a new earth. And the former things shall pass away. And that's the problem of the zombie. That's the problem of these who have dead minds. They are comfortable in their grave. They are comfortable. Instead of trying to move forward, they're trying to go backwards to Kemet, to some other ancient past, when they should be moving forward. Because all those things, according to religious texts, they need to pass away. Another way of talking about something passing away is your digestive system. When you put in food and you pass gas, you pass a load, or you have a bowel movement, what you took in was good, but now you use what it can offer and it passes out of the body. So here we are, a body of a people, and you take in, and we have taken in things that are wonderful. I don't want to degrade or make mockery of nobody's belief system or the way that you think, but you must let them go through the body. They serve their purpose. You've gotten all the vitamins, all the minerals that you can out of these ideologies. Now you must allow them to pass, and then you pick new fruit, new vegetables, put new meat on the table. And fresh food is the best food for the body. Not something in a can, not something from the past, something wrapped up in a can or frozen. The best food for you is fresh food. And you wonder why you are not progressing. You're not moving the way that you should, because you're not getting your proper nutrients. You're eating packaged food, processed food, old food. That's not what I wanted to talk about, but I guess I can make my point within the next 7 some minutes that I have left. I want to make my point on this particular topic. I want to talk about Serena Williams. I want to talk about Serena Williams because at one time I did have a little crush on Serena Williams, beautiful black woman. I love to see the Williams sisters play tennis. They made me watch tennis. I did not care anything about tennis. I did watch a little Arthur Ashe and what's her name? Zenith Garrison, I believe it was. But there was nobody, and have nobody been like Serena and Venus. Especially Serena. I love me some Serena. But in recent times, I've been sort of drawn, withdrawn from Serena. And Serena, I'm sorry, but you and I really fell out when she had that plastic surgery on her face. You messed up a beautiful face with this nose thing that you done. I just don't, I don't get it. But now, I'm telling you, now she really has jumped the ditch with this here. Now, let me find the picture here. Okay, now there. Now, she shocks the world by announcing her engagement with this fella. Now, if just by looking at this picture, there's Serena with her new nose. But I mean, just by looking at this, I mean, come on. I mean, it has nothing to do with hate or anything. This does not make sense. This is not a match. It does not. It's not. Let me tell you something. And see, this is something that this Caucasian guy, he does not understand. But he's been conditioned. This is a conditioning process caused by those who are in power, caused by those who have set up a society. Now, the reason why the Caucasian or pink man lusts for the black woman, the number one reason is men like to dominate. Men like to show other men and beat their chest. I'm the stuff. I'm stronger. I'm superior to you. So I got Serena. What you gonna do about it? Yeah, she's a black woman. She's mine. I took her. What you gonna do? See, men are like that. It's mine. You see it even in nature. The strongest. I'm gonna take it. All these women, all these females is mine. I'm the king of the hill. So it's partly to show black men. Whenever you see Caucasian men with black women, it's a symbol. It's to show I'm the dominant one. I took your woman. What you gonna do about it? And she wants to be with me. And why do Serena want to be with him? The reason why Serena or any black woman wants to be with a Caucasian man, or any black man wants to be with a Caucasian woman, is because of slavery. This is the reason why. Because of slavery. And they have become the dominant people on this planet. They have become the most influential people on this planet. You and I can't even get close enough to Serena. She's surrounded by these people, these foreign alien people, these Caucasian people. And it's because of slavery. If it was not for slavery, if it was not for colonialism, black men would have no interest in Caucasian women, and black women would have no interest in Caucasian men. Just like your dog. If you did not make a pet out of your dog, if the pet was not a domesticated animal, there's no animal that wants to be a pet that will sit around. The only reason why your dog is in your house, or your goldfish, because you have enslaved them. Because of slavery. There's nowhere in history where you have Africans or any other dark-skinned people running to Europe because I want me a white woman. I want me a white man. You do not see that. But you see them constantly going to Africa. Now here they are saying that you are a savage, saying that you subhumans, but they can't wait to get in your panties. They can't wait to get in your drawers. You do not see that behavior in dark-skinned people. But then when you became domesticated, when they conquered dark-skinned people, then that's when this started happening. So it is not love. Serena does not love him. He does not love Serena. Has nothing to do with love. They use love to hide the sickness that slavery left behind. It is not real. It's real if Serena came from a background where there was no slavery, and his people, he came from a background where his people did not have anything to do with the enslavement of dark-skinned people. Also, this is the Caucasian man's, this is the pink man's way to continue to live, even if he becomes extinct. Now, this is the most important. The reason why men fight so hard over women, males fight so hard over females, is so that their DNA, listen, oh wow, so their DNA can live. The Caucasian man, some of his DNA is in me, but you can't tell. Some of his DNA is in you, but you can't tell. And within that DNA, if it's inside of you, there's a certain behavior, there's a certain pattern of behaviors, there's a certain way of thinking that goes within that DNA. So even if the Caucasian people disappeared, if they became extinct right now, it would make no difference, because Serena would have a baby, and Shaniqua would have a baby, and Liana, all these sleeping and having these interracial children with these Caucasian men. They are hiding the Caucasian. Ooh, this is deep. They are hiding the pink people within yourself. And at some point in time down the line, they can come back again. Oh, would you really want that? That's the purpose of it. So I can live. So you have this relationship between this Caucasian man and Serena, and they don't understand and they don't really know the reality of it. That's what it's all about. It's bigger than them. It's not about love. It's about the survival of a mentality, the survival of a people. And she doing it with a smile. She don't know it because she's just a slave. Just like, I'm not calling Serena a dog or nothing like that, but she's domesticated. Just the way your dog and cat and goldfish, how they smile at you, whatever, when they should be trying to slice your throat. Being a slave to them. So, that's what's going on here. Has nothing to do with love. This is the battle of DNA. This is to keep myself alive.